Now, today we have the pleasure to receive Envision IT principal investigators who are going to present to us their findings of the research which was funded by the MRIC under the Fast Track initiative launched in view of promoting research, development, and innovation in the country. So without any further delays, I would like to invite our Executive Director, Professor Bauran, to launch this webinar officially by addressing the audience. Prof.
Thank you, Vikram. I'm not quite sure if I can get my video started because I think it depends on the host. Anyway, I'll just highlight. First of all, very good morning to all who are attending this webinar. And today we have the presentation of the outcomes of one particular project, which was funded under the Fast Track Innovation Initiative call. Stakeholders will recall that during the pandemic, we wanted to launch a number of initiatives regards to helping enterprises to move along in the new normal. We had special call, we had indeed the COVID-19 special call, but following that, we had a Fast Track Innovation Initiative call encompassing, amongst others, emerging technologies, smart agriculture, circular economy, and also social innovation. And from that particular call, we approved 14 projects, and from the 14 projects, 2 already have been completed and 12 are ongoing. So today we are going to listen to one of the completed projects, which deals with indeed MoServices in the field of AI, mobile process builder, and I'm very keen to listen to Mrs. Kirti Moipat, who will giving a presentation, and I hope that this presentation will trigger discussions, most probably with our parent ministry, which is indeed very keen to look into these AI applications and services. So having said that, I just want to highlight that the MRIC is embarked in a number of very exciting, I would say, initiatives right now. First of all, we have our National Innovation Challenge, which is ongoing. You must have seen on TV people from all nooks and corners of the country coming and presenting their ideas. So we are encouraging these ideas into entrepreneurship endeavors. Then at the same time, you would have noticed by now, but our billboards, our buses, our media is overflowed by messages with regards to innovation. So MRIC is launching its national campaign for innovation, which is going to culminate in the organization of the Assises de la Recherche et de l'Innovation at the end of April. And as such, many stakeholders are already involved in key discussions with MRIC in sectoral areas for the Assises. So we are indeed, all our resources are mobilized along these projects, and we hope that our initiatives will be at the service of the community in terms of innovation. So having said that, I will invite now Mrs. Moipat to give her presentation on her project.
Okay, so good morning, everyone.
Yeah, just a few things, Mrs. Moipat. Thank you, Prof. So just to let you know, thank you. Welcome to all the participants in this meeting. So while Mrs. Moipat will be presenting, you may wish to ask your questions. There is a Q&A chat box. Either this or at the end of the presentation, you can use the raise hand icon so we can listen to you. So Ms. Moipat, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. So it's Varuna Bangalia, CEO of Envision IT. So I will start and then Kirti Moipat will take over. First of all, thank you for making time for this webinar on the MoServices Rapid AI Mobile Process Builder. We would like to thank the MRIC to have acceded to our request to fund this project. So after 8 months of implementation, the project is now ready for market. But before we dive deeper into the project, please allow me to give you a quick intro of Envision IT. So Envision IT, we are a professional software services company. We're a team of young Mauritian professionals, around 15 now. So we strive to add value to our country. And how we do that is by helping organizations to create and implement winning digital strategies. We have been delivering business enabling software since 21 years now as a group. We are partnered with Microsoft in Mauritius and South Africa, and we are tier 1 cloud solutions provider in both countries. So the company was founded in the year 2000 in South Africa. We expanded to Australia in year 2009 and to Mauritius in year 2015. From the Mauritian entity, our initial focus was on the US, South Africa, rest of Africa, and also Australian market. And we shifted our focus to the Mauritian market as from year 2018. Our mission is to enable our customers to succeed faster in the digital economy through engineering excellence and also solution innovation. As a group, we have more than 140 customers around the world, and we are not restricted to any specific verticals. We have several gold and silver Microsoft certificates, and we have also several partners. Some of our featured customers, you will notice some local clients here: Government of Mauritius, CWA, NPCC, MCIA, and Lenscorp, and some foreign clients such as Microsoft, Standard Bank, Bidvest, and IDEMIA. In terms of the Mauritian market, some important projects that we have implemented so far has been the National Authentication Framework of Mauritius, also called MOPAS. So this was done for the Ministry of ICT. The LISPOR mobile application to fight gender-based violence. This was done for the Prime Minister's office, and also Mo Rendezvous, which is an electronic queue management system deployed at the Passport and Immigrations Office Work Permit Unit, all the MNIS offices, that is Mauritius National Identity Card units, and also the National Land and Transport Authority. So that was a brief about our company. Now I will play a video so that you get a better idea of what this project is about. And then Kirti is going to dive into deeper technical functionalities of this project. Okay.
Sometimes we need to work extremely.
Let me know if you can hear the sound.
Yes, the sound is good.
Okay.
Sometimes we need to work extremely hard to achieve a small success. In today's times, does it make sense to create workflows and forms from scratch? What if there was an app that drastically reduces the time needed? Introducing MoServices, the rapid AI-powered mobile app builder. Write down your processes and click generate. MoServices' artificial intelligence understands your message to create the forms. MoServices AI uses natural language processing that understands Mauritian keywords like NIC and surname at birth. Following extensive training, the machine learning model is able to decide which data type is suitable for each field. Our human team does quality control. Now your users can access your new form on MoServices app. Deploy new processes in hours instead of months. Save over 50% on the cost for similar project. public sector can use a single login and app for all MoServices. MoServices is so easy to use. Research and development for MoServices was funded by the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council. Are you a business or government-owned body? Brought to you by Envision IT.
Okay, so I will now hand over to Kirsty.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kirti Moipat, the Technical Director at Envision IT. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it. Okay, so I will be providing more information about the MoServices project and also do a demo of the solution which we have implemented. Just give me 1 second, please. Sure. Okay, so let's talk about the problem first. Government and enterprises often have application forms that go under different levels of approval. Over the years, although several of these have been digitized, they always come with a significant cost, quite a lot of time to implement, along with the risk of failure and marketing cost every time. So the solution which we have proposed is called the MoServices Rapid AI Mobile Process Builder, which is funded by the MoIC under the Fast Track Innovation Initiative scheme. The project duration was 8 months and it consisted of 2 milestones and 5 activities. The solution we have developed consists of a web portal and a mobile application. So organizations who wish to use a system will need to make a request to Envision IT by going to the homepage of the solution which we have deployed. And then they will need to fill up a contact form. Envision IT will get in touch with the interested party to discuss further. And then once all the terms and conditions have been discussed and agreed, we will send a link to the organization to fill in for the registration process. Once an organization registers, this will automatically create an account for the organization and create a user with admin rights. And then this user with the admin rights can manage the whole account. So then an officer of that organization will log into the web portal and start creating services. Each service can have 1 or more forms associated. The officer will also create tasks, allocate approvers to the task, and assign these tasks to workflows. These workflows are then allocated to forms. So when creating forms, officers only need to define the fields which they like the form to have. For example, I want a form to capture name, surname, address, gender. So once a form has been created, the officer can process the form. In this process, our AI and the machine learning tool will kick in and it will extract keywords from the form definition. For example, text will be allocated to type name and number will be allocated to age. So these data types will be allocated dynamically. And once the form has been configured, it is ready to be used and it will be available through the mobile application for public users to fill in. The public users need to download and install the mobile application from Google Play Store. And after successful registration and login, they will get a list of all the organizations and the services for each. They can select a service to view the forms which are available. They fill up the form, upload attachments as required, and submit the form. And then when an approver will log in on the web portal, he or she will get a notification about the new form submission. The approver needs to approve, decline, or request for more information, and then follows a defined workflow. Once the workflow has been completed, the public user will get a notification about his or her application. So in terms of the technology stack which we have used is the C#.NET Core 3.1 and MVC. This is for the web portal. Database is on Microsoft SQL database, currently hosted on Azure. We have used Azure Text Analytics for the description of keywords. We have used Python and Spacey natural language processing for extracting keywords from the form definitions. And the mobile app has been developed on Ionic and React Native. So let me explain how the data extraction part works. So like I said, an organization will enter a text for the form creation. And then we will click on the process text button. Then the data extraction process will start. So for the extraction process, we are using two tools. One is a Microsoft Text Analytics, which will extract some of the keywords. And we have developed our own machine learning tool using Python and Spacey natural language processing. So we have developed a data builder page on the web portal, like you can see here. And this provides us a facility to annotate text and add to a data set. So this feature is available to Envision IT internally. So we map text with form elements and then export this data set to JSON format. So for example, you can see name, it has been mapped as single line string. We can have gender, for example, categories has been mapped as categories. When we say categories, please refer to the color of the item here, of the entity. Categories is in green, so it is a multi-select combo box actually. So this is, we are actually, like I mentioned, we are generating the data set. Once done, we export this data set into a JSON format. And then we use this data set to train our model. Then this model is used for the extraction of keywords. Okay. So like I mentioned, we are using Microsoft Azure Text Analytics. So with this tool, we get the facility to decode text like, for example, if I'm creating a form with text, for example, I want a form with the field name and the approver is Kirti. So Microsoft Text Analytics will return the type person equal to Kirti and the person type will be approver. So let me take you through the demo now to get a better idea about the solution. So this is a web portal. And we also have the mobile application. I'll take you through the mobile application first. So this is the mobile app. Okay, so new users will click on the sign up button. They need to accept terms and conditions. Then they need to fill up this form. Once the form has been filled, users will receive a one-time password to activate their account. So they will get a one-time code on their mobile by SMS. They need to enter and then the form will be, the account will be activated. So since I already have an account, I'm going to skip this process and begin. So once logged in, I can see a list of all the sites which are available. And let's go through the Mauritius Police Force. Here you will see there are two kinds of services, application for learner and renewal of motorcycle license. Please note that there are only two services here. I will show you how we add those services dynamically through the web portal. Now, if I go on renewal of motorcycle, you will see service info. So here you can add, as the TNet of the application, the police, Mauritius Police Force, they can add text like which documents need to be uploaded while filling up the forms. click on view service form. I can see there's one form here, renewal of motorcycle license. Click here, and when I click on apply now, there's a form which is generated. Now this form has been generated dynamically. I'm going to show you how we do this in a moment. Okay, so let's go on the web portal. I'm going to log in as the Mauritius Police Force again, and then add one new form. Okay, so we have a basic dashboard here which shows the sum of the KPIs, and of course this can be enhanced based on clients' requirements. So as the admin of this organization, I can view the list of services and add new. Okay, let's add a new one. So we will call it application for certificate of character, for example. Okay. Here you can add the service info. For example, you should say upload a copy of your NIC. And this information will be available to users who are using the mobile application. Then we go on task. So I already have free tasks. I'm not going to create one, but once you create tasks, you can assign approvers to tasks. So for this task, verify address, we have one approver already assigned. I'm going to use this task to create a workflow. Okay, we create a new workflow. So it's application for certificate of character. I'm going to assign tasks to this workflow now. So let's say we want to verify address of the applicant. We want to verify NIC. And this, once you add tasks, you can also like rearrange the order of these tasks. Okay. Now we will create the form which users will use to fill in for the application of certificate of character. So we will do create new form. Form name is again application of for certificate of character. Text. So the text is, I want a form with the fields name, surname, date of birth, NIC, gender, address, country, phone number, and attachment. So these fields will be generated dynamically and displayed on the mobile application. I will assign a service to this form. There's no deadline, so we can skip. I will assign a workflow, then save. Once the form has been created, you will see the status is pending. So we need to process this form. When we click on process here, this is where our AI and the ML machine, the machine learning tool kicks in, and it's going to extract the keywords name and assign, you will see the category to it. So for name, it has automatically defined that it has text, surname text, date of birth is date, NIC text. Gender has been mapped as radio button. Address, country. So country, we also have the option to change. So I'll change it to combo box. Phone number, and attachment has been defined as radio. This is because we have not trained the model too much for now. So I will change it to file. You can also add more fields and then assign categories to your fields. I will save it for now. So now the form has been processed. We need to configure. By configure, we need to say that which fields we want to mark as mandatory, and we can do some more further customization on the fields. So for name, I will mark it as required. It is a required field. Surname, it is required. Date of birth required. We can change the type, set it to date instead of date time. Some more customization, NIC, required, gender. Now for gender, since we have marked it as a radio button, we just need to input which fields, which text we want it to display on the mobile application. So for gender, we will add male. For country, since we have mapped it as a combo box, so we'll need to add the values which need to be displayed. So Australia, Germany. And for attachment, you can select the type of attachment you want the user to upload. You can also add restriction on the file size and the file limit. Then we click on save. So you will get an error message in case any of the fields have been wrongly configured. Okay, it's done. Now, if I open the mobile app, and I go into Mauritius Police Force, I will see there's a new form, application for certificate of character. I click on it, and I can apply. So you will see all the fields have been added dynamically. You can just fill up the form. Notice that automatically a star sign has been added to the fields which are mandatory. And for the country, you will see the countries which we have added. And I will submit. Countries required. Okay, so my form has been submitted. You can also click on view applications. You will get a list of all the forms which falls under the certificate of character. You will see the status is open. You can click on view. Since it is still open, you can edit the form and then submit again. Now back to the web portal. So I will log in as approvers who can view these application forms. So I will log in as approver under the TNET Mauritius Police Force. I go in the application forms. You will see the KPIs also, the count has increased. Not today. So this is the form which I have submitted. You can click on view. These are the details. Click on next. And then I can decline, approve, or request for more information from the user. So let's approve it for now. Okay, so this form has been approved by the first approver. As you can see, it has been approved by approver 1. And if I click on next, it's going to say waiting for approval. This is because there's one more step in the workflow. So there's approver 2 who needs to verify the NIC and then do a final approval. Let's log in as approver 2. Okay, so I can see the form. Also, this approver has got a notification that he needs to verify it does for application for certificate. So if I click on view, I can click on next. As a second approver, I can see the comments added by the first approver. Then I click on next. So I'm now on the final step, which is verify NIC. Just click on approve, and then are you sure? Yes. Done. Now, if I verify on the mobile application, I can just go on the my applications here. Application for certificate of character, the first one, I see the status is approved, has been approved. When I click on view, I'll see the details and the comments from the officers, like it has been approved. Okay, so this is about how we generate the forms dynamically. I will just show you some of the additional features which we have added on the mobile phone and the web portal. So for mobile phone, you can view, as a user, you can view all your applications and their status. You can update your profile information. You can change your password and then log out finally. On the web portal as a tenant, that is as a client of this application, so you will see the dashboard. You can administer your account. So let's say for organization units, you can create your own departments and assign users to these departments. And then when creating tasks and workflows, you can assign users from the departments to those workflows. You can create roles for the application. So you can give access to specific users based to their, according to their roles. You can add new users to this account. Okay, so you have some users, you can assign their roles. You can view audits, that is all the transactions which have been done on your account. Under settings, you can manage your account, like you can choose to upload your own company logo. So this logo MoServices will be replaced by your own logo. You can select how you want to manage users. So you want users to register on this account, use security image that is captured on registration forms and other security steps. So this security tab is for a password complexity and session timeout. Okay, so this was basically about the solutions which we have developed. Now, let me share my PowerPoint again. So as you have seen, the advantage of this project is that all types of forms can be generated dynamically without any code changes and deployments. I've taken the example of the Mauritius Police Force, but of course you can create more forms like a feedback form for an event, or application form, registration form for your organization. And then some further customization and enhancement which we have thought of. So firstly is integration with the National Authentication Framework, MoPass, so to allow users to use only one login to access e-services and our application also. But of course, this is subject to approval from the Ministry of ICT. Then we can also do social login for TNET. So we can provide logins through Facebook, Google, Twitter, and Microsoft. We can add more workflows based on customers' requirements. And we can further train the AI and the machine learning model. So the model will be trained to support more keywords and more data types. We can also create subdomains for each TNET. So for example, you can have https : let's say pio.moservices.com, for example. Okay, and in terms of the mobile app, so for the scope of this project, we have developed it only in the Android version, and it's available on Google Play Store. We can improve and add and develop mobile apps for iOS and the App Gallery also. So this was about our project. I will now let Varuna continue. She will talk a bit about how we plan to market this project.
Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, so our focus is to eventually turn MoServices into a recurrent revenue maker, not only in Mauritius, but also abroad. The product, it can be easily adapted for the scenarios. For example, for employee leaves applications, customer sign up for specific offers. And if we integrate it to MoPass, that is the National Authentication Framework of Mauritius, it can be even used by banks and insurance companies for KYC. We will be targeting our network of more than 140 customers around the world with an emphasis on local clients. And we will also be submitting the product on our partner marketplaces. For example, on the Microsoft Marketplace. In terms of conferences, we normally conduct on average 2 conferences per year, during which we showcase our products and services. And we also launch new ones. We invite governmental institutions, government-owned bodies, and also private enterprises. We will also be conducting digital marketing campaigns using marketing videos and adverts that we implement in-house. For example, the video that I played earlier was one done by us. So yeah, so that's basically the plan for the marketing initiatives around MoServices. Thank you so much for your attention, and let us know if you have questions.
Thank you very much. This was a very interesting presentation, and we are really keen to see the future applications. I would wish to invite the participants to please either raise your hands to ask your questions or comments. We see the CTO of ministry, maybe a comment from you. Any, please let us, so just raise your hands and I'll let you unmute your mic. Yes, there is one hand raised. Yes. Yes, Mr. Awabai, you can talk.
Thank you, Dr. Bisnot, and thank you, everybody, especially Envision IT. I think what I've seen is a very interesting product, and I wanted just to say that I've seen a product that is very interesting because it allows us to build services very fast. I was just wondering whether we could be adding integration with APIs. So maybe at certain levels, I've seen the tasks, I've seen the workflow. There could be, is it possible within within the form, instead of the workflow, maybe it has the level of the form, and this is where Envision will tell us whether we could be checking and doing certain validations by making calls to certain APIs. Is this possible to integrate that? And
Yes.
also, yeah, okay,
Sorry,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, that's very interesting. So this makes it very flexible. Second is that I wanted to be clearer about the model for marketing. Is it that we have to buy the services from you, meaning we buy every service from you, or can we buy the platform as a whole and run our own service on our own?
Yes, so in terms of the integration to APIs, this is definitely possible because we have implemented this solution from scratch. It's not like we have other products that integrate to it that will make it difficult to do the integration. So that's definitely possible. We can even integrate it to the CPD API to do eKYCs, etc. if need be. And in terms of marketing, actually we can sell it on subscription basis. Either we do a software as a service model whereby tenants pay us yearly subscriptions, or we can also sell it as a product in its entirety. So it will depend on what types of clients we get, and what the prospects are.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Awabai. We have another question in the chat box from Mr. Pavu. He says, interesting work. I have the following questions. Does the system also generate a report, that is a summary report of transactions? And secondly, can the service provider return an approved document, that is PDF file, to the user? And third, the cost of the service provider for the use of MoServices platform.
Yes, so in terms of reporting, yes, we do have reports, but of course it depends on the client's requirements. So any particular client can require any type of report, so we can customize. And our reports they can be exported to Excel and PDF, and we can also automate it to be received by emails. Concerning the approved document, yes, this is feasible. So once an application form has been approved, we can generate a PDF file and send it to the user. In terms of costing, so maybe Varuna can advise on this one.
Actually, we haven't yet worked out the costing model for the product. It will depend on the interest we get, and then we are going to work that more in details, because we have been focusing these 8 months in the implementation of the product, and also defining what can be added to it to make it even better and complete.
All right. Any other questions? I see Mr. Awaba, you would like to speak again. I see you raised your hand. No. Okay. Any other questions from the floor? Other participants? No questions. I think this was a really interesting project. So we would like to thank all the project investigators having done such a nice work. I think we will need to sit down again and talk to the interested parties, especially I think Ministry of Technology, and see how we can push this project forward. So if there are no more questions, I would like on behalf of the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council, thank the Envision IT group, especially Ms. Kirti and Ms. Varina for having delivered such a nice project. And I think these are interesting avenues for improving further our online government system here. So thank you very much. And in case you have any questions, please feel free to write us, contact@mric.mu. Else, this recording will be available on our various social media and websites. So thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.